wise man once said, "Speech is the mirror of the soul. As a man speaks, so he is." A very pleasant morning to the jury members. I am Sneha Bhasin of Class 11D, presenting my views against the motion on the topic Freedom of Speech in the Present Scenario. Freedom of speech is one of the most fundamental rights in our Constitution, but the way it is being currently misused is highly unacceptable. We have the freedom of speech, but it doesn't mean we can do whatever we want to. Being able to voice out our opinions on issues comes with responsibilities. Spreading of fake news, free and open media trials, and pointless defamation. I don't think that this is the India that a wise constitution makers envisioned while giving us the freedom of speech. And hence, I rest my case. Thank you.
Respective judges and fellow mates, I, Didesh Banerjee, will be speaking for the motion. Freedom of speech is one of our fundamental rights. According to our constitution, we have the freedom to express and hold opinions and to receive and impart ideas and information without interference. Freedom of speech is an essential aspect and it concerns every citizen. It is vital as it also concerns democracy. It secures the right to speak and write openly along with the ability to criticize an injustice. In present scenario, press freedom is not only declining in India, but across the world. Reporters are often victims of government orders to shut down media websites or blogs in the name of national security or public order. The very essence of a democratic nation lies in public discussions and debates, which can help the government and authorities mend its way of functioning so that the citizens can have the feeling that the state is indeed a welfare state and is working for the welfare of its citizens. Therefore, a careful and a knowledgeable use of the freedom to speak and disseminate correct information will help create a better society. Thank you.
As Jawaharlal Nehru said, and I'd like to quote, "I would rather have a completely free speech and expression with all dangers involved in the wrong use of that freedom than a suppressed or regulated speech and expression." Speech is God's gift to mankind. Through speech and expression, a human being conveys his thoughts, feelings, and sentiments to others. Freedom of speech and expression is regarded as the first condition of liberty. It occupies a preferred and important position in the hierarchy of the liberty. It is truly said about the freedom of speech that it is the mother of all other liberties. The first principle of a free society is an untrammeled flow of words in an open form. You cannot expect a country to develop if the freedom of speech is denied. Hence, I rest my case.
A speech on national integrity can get jailed in India, while the President of the United States can openly call Mexicans rapists. Such is the state of free speech in today's world. Hello everyone, I am Alvinko and I am to speak for the topic Freedom of Speech in Current Scenario. Article 91 of the Constitution of India guarantees freedom of speech, although this right is not absolute and comes with some reasonable restriction outlined under Article 19(2). In recent time, however, the ruling BJP party has gone beyond all semblance of reason and regularly used Unlawful Activities Prevention Act (UAPA) and the National Security Act (NSA) to crush dissent. These draconian laws allow them to detain those who oppose the government without charges, as has been the case with many of those who protested against the Citizenship Amendment Act. Even by the American standard of imminent lawless action, chanting "Deshi Idaro ko goli maro salo ko" at rallies, at a celebrity laboring peacefully protesting farmers for their rights as terrorists would be considered wrong, and yet it seemed to be acceptable here. At last, I would like to say we must continue to fight for freedom of expression in India, but at the same time we must be careful not to advocate the other extreme. A right to express one's opinion is one of the precious gifts of democracy, but not when it stifles the voices of others or put them in danger. Freedom of speech must not supersede freedom to life. Thank you.
I believe that the right to speech and expression is the most important aspect of human life because it brings the ability to speak our minds and what we think might create a better society. A better society requires exchange of ideas where we can exchange our thoughts with one another and can come to better solutions keeping the perspective of every other person as well. That is where equality and freedom works well. This right gives us the path to much more much more things than just to speak, that is to write, to research, motivation, and much more. It can't be taken away from any person as it's a human right as well.
Good morning, everyone, respected judges, and my fellow mates. I, Vansh Batra, is here to speak in the favor of freedom of speech in present scenario. Freedom of speech protects each of us from the influence of special interests. Freedom of speech eliminates compelled actions. Freedom of speech promotes the free exchange of ideas. Freedom of speech can expose immoral or unlawful activities. Freedom of speech prevents the requirement to behave specific ways. Freedom of speech advances knowledge for a society. Freedom of speech allows for peaceful changes in society. Freedom of speech gives us an opportunity to challenge hate. Freedom of speech creates flexibility. Thank you.
If the freedom of speech is taken away, dumb and silent one may be, just like a sheep to the slaughter by George Washington. The freedom of speech is the fundamental right guaranteed to each and every citizen of India under the Article 19 of the Indian Constitution. It gives people an opportunity to express themselves without any fear of retribution. It is the essence of a free society and the most important right in today's scenario where people are at a liberty to voice their opinions even from the comfort of their own homes. Due to this greater accessibility, one is able to reach a wider audience and like minded people. Thus, the right to free speech stands on a very high pedestal as it enables the people to speak up their views publicly without any fear. Thank you.